Hi everyone! This month's page kits are going to be a little different. I have decided to use this cut file that has 5 party hats and split them up to 2 pages and use 2 of my page kits to kind of have a 2-page layout. They'll share some similar elements so that you can see it's 2 pages, and then they'll also share the photos from the same day. So when I first started, I was debating whether I wanted to use this glittery blue pattern paper. I don't think it's glittery, it's like shiny. And then there's also that colorful polka dot paper in the background. And I decided that since I had kits that had the polka dot papers, I would use the polka dot paper for both bases and use this shiny pattern paper as the backing for my cut files. When the cut files have these nice intricate patterns, I really try not to use too many different colors behind them. It kind of takes away from how detailed the cut files are. I also didn't want to spend too much time backing the individual shapes, so that's why I stuck with just one pattern paper throughout for all 3 of the cut files. I'm using just thin double-sided tape, and my method this time is to just tape the cut files onto the pattern paper I want, and then I will cut around them on the outside so that I don't have to spend time cutting the different pieces to backfill them. As you can see, I'm also very stingy with my paper. I cut just the right amount to have enough paper to back these 3 specific party hat cut files. Let me talk a little bit about why I'm using these party hats. In July of 2017, my mom retired and my father had a big 60th birthday. And it just so happened to be 2 days back to back. So my brother and I decided to throw them a massive surprise birthday / retirement party. And we would celebrate them together because they're not very gung-ho about celebrations for themselves. They're okay when it's about their children, but they're very shy about having things for themselves. So my brother and I decided to throw this massive party for the both of them together so they wouldn't feel so attention heavy. And when I saw these party hats, I really immediately thought about this big celebration. We invited a bunch of family and friends, and we hosted it in this big room, and of course they were surprised. So the pictures I am doing for this specific layout is one of just my parents, and then one smaller photo, a 3x4 of each of them cutting their specific cakes. So yes, we also got them each their own cake with the celebration that we were doing for them. The longest part of this layout really was backing the cut file and then of course cutting them out. I think the hardest part about cutting the backing was like that top part with the pointy parts from the hat, so those got filled in and that worked out well for me. Now I'm just trimming the branding strip off of the main pattern paper that's going to be the background, and I have this full 12x12 block pattern paper that I decided I would use to mat my photos. The colors on this match some of the colors on the other pattern papers, and I just felt like it would be a good way to emphasize the photos by backing them with the different colors as well. As you can see, I didn't want to just do it off of an edge of the pattern paper. For all the photos, I definitely wanted at least 2 colors surrounding them. Now for the layout, because I had 3 photos, I was trying to see like how I wanted the photos to flow. I ended up only using 2 of the 3 party hats on this page. I think I felt that it was too cluttered if I had a third, and the composition and the layout of the photos and the cut files was just getting to be overwhelming for the page. So I ended up doing kind of party hats on top of the smaller photos. That's how I was thinking about them. I have the photo of the both of them right in the center of the page, and then I put the 2 smaller photos on the bottom corners. As you can see now, I realized the hat wouldn't fit if I put my mom's picture in the middle. So I just moved them down, and it's just more of like a triangle format, and it also kind of balances out. It's symmetrical on both sides. To also emphasize the cut file, I did pop them up with foam adhesive dots. I really wanted the pictures to wear the hat. Now that I have all my larger elements adhered down, I am going to go through all the embellishments I had in my kit and put them throughout the page as well. I had selected a bunch of scraps, and the 4x6 cards I picked out just didn't work well with what I was doing on this page. So I just put those back into my supplies. I did pull out wood veneer that were in luggage or suitcase shapes, and when I put the kit together, I really wasn't thinking about what I was going to scrapbook yet. So I still felt that they were applicable because my mom was retiring and my dad celebrating a big birthday. They would potentially go on a trip. So I just left those suitcases in. I had tons of labels. I did also have this freckled fawn washi tape. I bought a bunch, and I wanted to, use some of my supplies. So I picked some that matched well with the color scheme I had and put those across both the smaller photos, and then I had a larger one where I used it across the top of the big photo, and then I took a little piece off and put it also at the bottom of the photo to kind of even it out or spread out the colors. I also had a ton of label stickers from my same purchase from Freckled Fawn, and I wanted to write what the celebrations were for each of them. So I have a nice label underneath my mom that says retirement, and I put that in later, and then I would put 60th birthday on my dad's side. And then I also added a label up top to the big 4x6 photo, and I end up putting the date on that later. I also had a ton of other tabs, stickers, and they just didn't work with the color scheme. I also didn't find a good place to tuck them. So this little scrap piece of paper had a bunch of cameras, and a bunch of the colors I felt worked well with the page, but the pink camera just didn't fit for me. So instead of using the whole strip, I fussy cut out 3 of the cameras in the colors that coordinated with the background page. I end up adding them to the 3 different areas where I will do a cluster of embellishments. One by the luggage veneer, and then another one on the other side of the luggage veneer, and the last one I end up putting up top towards the other side of my title. I knew I definitely wanted to use the word celebration, but I wanted to make it a little bit longer. So to fully express what this event was, I decided to use joint celebration as my title. And there were a couple of things in the photo, the big photo, that I wanted to hide. I hid part of an exit sign with the washi tape, and then I wanted to kind of line up the title across the top of the photo. But you'll notice that I end up having to move it because a couple of the elements were raised and it just didn't work out very well in terms of how half a thicker was up and then the other half was down. So I added one more kind of embellishment. They were chipboard stars from Studio Calico. I've had these forever, and I thought I would use some on this layout, and then I'll save just a few for the next layout. So that would be another element that the two pages will share. And for where I put them, I wanted to have them stand out, so I would put them on top of contrasting colors. And that pretty much sums up my page. So I hope you guys enjoy this process video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe so you'll see when my next video goes up. And it won't be too long because on Thursday I will show you guys the other layout that matches this one. Hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!